I mean, wasn't it kind of already like that? It made him, the one guy tried to shoot Reagan and the other guy shot John Lennon.
Um, no, the guy that shot Reagan, it was because he was obsessed with Jodie Foster because he watched Taxi Driver.
Yeah, because there was that, but I'm pretty sure he also cited Catcher in the Rye.
Huh. I don't know.
Pretty sure I heard that somewhere.
I don't know what. Could somebody find me the passage in Catcher in the Rye where it says, "Shoot a famous person,"
Kill John Lennon.
or like, does it just like if you read it backwards, does it like say "Kill John Lennon, kill Ronald Reagan" or something like that? I don't know.
So the book was found in that guy, the guy that tried to shoot Reagan. It was found in his apartment, but he said it wasn't an inspiration.
Okay, well, I mean, we know it was an inspiration for the other guy, but you know that's part of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting off topic. Yeah, what such nice subject matter for this podcast. Did the guy that tried to shoot Trump also read that book by any chance?
I don't know.
Anyway.
We'll have to wait and see.
I guess. You know, it's been a while since I read that book. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't read it again. I might accidentally shoot somebody. They also have House, the '80s one, not the weird Japanese movie with the okay. That would, if we ever want to do another podcast where we can't describe what happens in the movie, the Japanese horror movie House would be a good one. I don't know if you ever heard of that movie. But
I feel like I've seen this poster before.
The poster is very, very memorable. It's like that orange with the weird.
Yeah.
It's in the Criterion Collection. It is a strange movie. It was from the same studio that did Godzilla. And some of the Godzilla movies from that time were a bit trippy, so maybe I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I kind of want to watch that movie again. It's so fucking weird. Bill Hader's a huge fan of it, apparently. Because he did a Criterion Closet video, and he picked out the movie House. He said this is a crazy fucking movie, and apparently he was such a huge fan of that movie that the shirt he was wearing that day was a fucking House shirt. So I'm like, oh man, that's funny. Yeah, so that is getting out there. Ridley Scott apparently helped produce it. I don't know any of the cast.
Apparently Ridley Scott really liked it, so who knows if it's good or not.
He thought that Prometheus and Alien Covenant were good, though, so...
He thought Napoleon was good.
Oh, is Napoleon not... Yeah, I haven't seen Napoleon, so...
I didn't like Napoleon.
Oh, that's too bad. Joaquin Phoenix is a pretty good casting choice, I think, for...
He was actually one of the weaker parts of the movie.
That's surprising. You'd think he'd be
He just didn't put in a good performance.
Didn't that come out, last year?
I think it was the end of 2022?
I guess Ridley Scott is kind of hit and miss on, big...
it was last year.
Epic type movies, because on one hand he made Gladiator, but then on the other hand he made Exodus: Gods and Kings. So
I keep forgetting about that movie.
Have you seen that movie?
I have.
It was not. No, it was not.
It was pretty bad.
Oh right, I forgot about Gladiator 2. That's coming out later this year.
Oh yeah.
I liked Kingdom of Heaven, actually. I just rewatched
I
that
haven't
one.
seen it. I heard people really liked the director's cut of that one.
I haven't seen the director's cut. I would assume it's better, but like I rewatched the theatrical cut not too long ago, and I actually enjoyed it. You know, mainly because of the cast, though. To be fair, because I mean the cast in that, I mean Orlando Bloom, Eva Green, Jeremy Irons, Liam Neeson. I mean, it's got a great cast. So.
Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson. You know? Anyway. Like, it's not like the theatrical cuts, it's not a great movie, but it is an enjoyable movie.
I know recently there's been like a whole lot of people idolizing King Baldwin from that movie.
Sorry, what'd you say?
There's been like a lot of memes of people idolizing King Baldwin from the movie. Like a lot of people are posting like edits of him.
King Baldwin? Oh, I forgot Edward Norton was in that. Oh yeah, isn't he the guy with like the? I think he has like leprosy or something. Yeah, and he like has a mask. I forgot he was in that movie. Yeah, because he has a mask on the whole time. Jesus.
I heard that he wanted to go uncredited for that movie.
Yeah.
Which I think would have been kind of cool, actually.
Which is kind of like what happened with Hannibal, because Gary Oldman is in that movie, but you can't tell it's him because he has a deformed face. It's so... And it's really disturbing, too. Like, you can't tell that it's makeup either, but he went uncredited originally. So nobody knew it was him.
Huh.
And yeah, like... And Hannibal's not, like, a great movie, but... It's also a Ridley Scott movie, actually. It's so... Ridley Scott is so hit and miss. Like, when he's good, like, he makes, like... I mean, he made Alien and Blade Runner.
And Blade Runner.
But then he also made, like... he also made...
made Napoleon, Prometheus, Covenant.
Robin Hood. I mean... That Robin Hood movie was not good. House of Gucci. Jesus. That's too bad, because I actually wanted to see that Napoleon movie. That actually, you know... I thought Ridley Scott making a Napoleon movie would be interesting.
The best way I can describe it is that it feels like it was a movie written by a British guy who only knew who Napoleon was through like 1812 anti-France propaganda.
Okay, so it's not a very positive depiction of him, is what you're saying. Like, not a very
it is almost entirely negative, and it's focused. It's focused more on his sex life than anything interesting about him.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, that's too bad. It makes me wonder what that Stanley Kubrick Napoleon movie would have been like then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was like really... He was like so into Napoleon Bonaparte that he had like a filing cabinet with like just every day of Napoleon's life. Like he could like pull a card out and he knew what Napoleon was doing that day. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty good.
It really makes me wonder what that movie would have been like. But he ended up not filming it because there's another movie that came out about Napoleon, Waterloo. It bombed, so he didn't end up making it. I heard Spielberg was trying to do a mini-series adaptation of it, but that doesn't seem to have gone anywhere, so...
Yeah. A lot of people wanted to make a Napoleon movie.
Yeah, then a lot of people already have. So there was one with Marlon Brando as Napoleon. I don't know if you ever heard of that movie.
I think I was looking at a list of Napoleon movies and came across that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was the right casting choice for that part. Because the problem is when you watch it, you're just like, it's just Marlon Brando. Like, you can't see anybody but Marlon Brando. Like, Because when Marlon Brando really put himself in a role, he really put himself in a role. But when he didn't, you can really tell he really didn't put himself in a role. And that was one case where I don't think he fully put himself in the role. Oh my god. Okay. Were the battle
Back on
scenes
topic.
when were the battle scenes in that Napoleon movie good at least?
So there was like one battle scene that was kind of good, but for the most part, not really.
Okay. That
Because
sucks.
like
That
I
thing
think one of the
cost
big ones happens
that
at
thing
night, so it's hard to even tell what's happening.
that thing costs like almost 200 million. Could you at least see the
It was
money?
also
You know, could you at least see where the
you
money
could
went?
see the money.
Okay, good.
You could see the money at least.
That's good, yeah, because I can't tell you how many times I like look at a movie's budget and I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Like Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yes. Oh my god, fuck that movie. That's the thing with Ridley Scott knows how to use the money in his movies. You know?
Yeah.
Like 1492 is not a good movie, but I can at least see where the money went. Or like, what's another one? Or like Prometheus, you know, that's not a very good movie, but
Yeah.
I can see where the money
But
went.
it
You know,
looks expensive.
It looks pretty good at least, you know, and the cast isn't bad. What was like the last decent movie that Ridley Scott made then? Would that be, I guess that'd be All the Money in the World. Or at least that was the last one I liked, you know, because, anyway. He's so all over the place, because 1 second he'll be making, like, you know, 1 second he'll be making, like, Gladiator, then the next second he's making The Counselor. Which you would hate that movie. I just know it. I don't know how much you know about
What's
this
it
movie.
about?
All I need to tell you is who wrote it.
Okay.
It was written by Cormac McCarthy.
Oh.
Which I'm not as, like, I mean,
kidding.
I'm not the biggest fan of Cormac McCarthy, but, like, I'll at least say, like, I did enjoy, Blood Meridian and...
Okay, I will say, I do like Blood Meridian. I did like that one.
No Country for Old Men, I think... It made for a good movie at the very least. A very good movie, in fact. I don't know if you've seen it, but...
No, I haven't.
It's really good. But The Counselor, basically, with The Counselor, it's like all of, like, it's like the worst, like, of what you would expect from Cormac McCarthy, you know, where it doesn't make sense, and it's, like, overly nihilistic, and it sucks, too, because that movie has a really good cast.
Yeah.
Look at that cast. It's ridiculous.
That is kind of disappointing to hear.
I think it was considered like one of the worst movies of that year. Like I've seen it's so bad. Like, and it's just all dialogue, and the dialogue is like just it doesn't
like not even good.
It doesn't even make. I don't know if it's good or bad. It doesn't make sense. It's just all like people just don't talk like people. It's just. Maybe it made more sense on the written page, but like once it's like up on the screen, it's just, you know, there's
just nonsense.
Yes, it'd be like trying to adapt, like, I don't know, just like it'd be like trying to adapt a Cormac McCarthy book, I guess. Is what it'd be like. Oh my god. I don't know how many. I know you're not a huge fan of his. Then again, yeah. I don't know how many of his you've read, but
I've read The Road, and I've read Blood Meridian.
That's it.
But I just can't stand his style. Really, it's just so hard to read. Yeah, it's kind of like Faulkner because I also don't like
Yeah,
Faulkner,
I
and
yeah,
it's like infuriating to try and read
I
Faulkner.
really what was that? The Sound and the Fury. Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
I I couldn't even
that was
finish it.
atrocious.
Like,
That was all that should be a war crime. That book that was
Jesus.
awful trying to
What's
read that.
interesting is William Faulkner. He's another writer that has screenwriting credits. I'm trying. I think
Really?
I think he wrote The Big Sleep,
Huh?
which is yeah, The Big Sleep, which is a very like a very hard to follow movie. It was like a film noir, but
That
like at the
sounds
very
about
least,
right.
but but what worked there is like you also had like Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall,
Hmm.
in it, and even though the plot didn't make much sense, the two stars like had chemistry.
Yeah.
And, oh, he wrote quite a few movies. He wrote two movies with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, actually. But anyway,
Huh.
yeah, you just don't like. I figured that was part of it, but I also just figured you just weren't a fan of how like nihilistic Cormac McCarthy is. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too big a fan of that
that's
aspect
my
either.
that's actually my problem with his book. Isn't necessarily the style, but I just find his stuff too. It's
It's
just
just
not
so
fun.
bleak.
They're just not
Yeah.
fun to read. The only book of his I like I didn't mind The Road because I thought that style fit that book because it's just this really bleak like because it's after like a apocalypse or something. So I thought it
Yeah.
fit that book, but a lot of the other ones I read I just didn't really care for it. And, and I thought it fit Blood Meridian. Like Blood Meridian I think is his best book.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I actually do enjoy Blood Meridian.
Yeah. And no Country for Old Men. I didn't think the book was the best, but I really enjoyed the movie. But again, that's probably just 'cause, I mean, you have Tommy Lee Jones and Javier Bardem in it, so anyway. you
Anyway,
I might be the
back on
person
topic.
I might be the person that killed Cormac McCarthy cuz like the day before he died, I was at a bookstore. I saw Blood Meridian there and I thought about getting it, but I decided not to. And then like the next day he died. Or like it was announced that he died the next day and I'm like, "Oh shit, did I just kill Cormac McCarthy?" like this this probably won't surprise you, but Cormac McCarthy is a huge fan of The Sound and the Fury.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He also really likes Moby Dick. Oh, he called Moby Dick his favorite novel. He also really likes the brother, liked, I guess, because he's dead. Rest in peace. He really liked the Brothers Karamazov.
Oh, okay.
Is that yeah Dostoevsky? Which I can't remember if I read. I know I've read some Dostoevsky, but I'm trying to remember which ones. I know I read Crime and Punishment. I think I read. Yeah, no, wait, no, Notes from the Underground. I've only read two of his, but anyway, I haven't read Brothers Karamazov. And then Ulysses. That's like one of those books that's like regarded as like one of the greatest novels of all time, but I've never read it just because it looks too daunting. And also because I can never find like a good like I keep looking for like a description of what it's about and I can't find a
And you just
good,
can't find one.
I can't find a good description of what it's about, so it must be a very complicated book or something. So yeah, Stephen King was a huge fan of Cormac McCarthy, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense, actually.
I don't see any overlap between the two, though. I really don't. Their styles don't. I don't know. Then again, Stephen King really liked The Happening, and The Happening is kind of like The Road, sort of. I don't know. I'll read Stephen King any day over Cormac McCarthy, though. Being honest, I still got I have a shelf in my room. It's just entirely Stephen King books. So if that tells you anything. Yeah, we got way off topic. I love that.
Anyway, so I think
saying,
for me,
if you want to give your overall thoughts,
yeah.